Good morning, folks. Here with Edward. It's the 12th of August, 2024. Some of the trees are starting to turn, even a little bit of the sumac here. It's just after 6:30 in the morning. There's a rabbit right there. Sun's rising and it's time for breakfast, right? Time to go to a place that really knows what they're doing with breakfast. The Cracker Barrel restaurant. Now, this restaurant right here is now closed. This was store number, I believe it was 258. It opened in 1995 and it closed on Friday, November 30th of 2018. It's open 23 years. It closed the health department and the corporate and local for the inability to identify the source of reoccurring, frequent, and significant salmonella contamination. And so they closed it. It's been closed for about 6 years. We're going to take a really quick look here. When this store opened, before it opened, I was one of the first employees that they hired here. Hired as a cook. We set the entire store up before they even started training people how to cook, and the servers and so forth. Here is the entrance right here. Hundreds of thousands of people came through here. It was a gold mine. The Hi-Hat sign was right out here by the highway. That's I-94. It was a gold mine. On Sundays, people would come in after church and put their names in, and then go home and change and come back, and it's still a half-hour wait. And then when the Beanie Baby craze happened, and the gift shop here sold Beanie Babies, it was nuts. The parking lot packed. First thing Wednesday mornings, because they knew that the delivery truck came with the Beanie Babies, and there was no place to park. It was all Beanie Baby people, and our customers didn't have any place to park to come in and eat. So they put an end to that. But then, on February 20th, 2016, 4 proverbial little old ladies and one of the ladies' 14-year-old friends came here, and they had a bite to eat, and they left a couple of vehicles here and shared a vehicle, and they went to a local Chinese acrobatic demonstration, and then they came back here about 11 o'clock at night, and they were sitting, 3 of the ladies in a vehicle, and a minivan parked there as well with one lady. Of course, the young gal was was sitting there in the van, and a real monster. This is really a hard thing to talk about, but his name was Jason Dalton, the Uber killer. Pulled right in here, pulled right up here, got out, crossed this little island, shot and killed the first lady right there in the van, and then right next to it, shot and killed all 3 of the little old ladies in the vehicle, and shot and grievously killed young Abigail, or grievously wounded young Abigail. She survived. The ladies that were murdered here were Barbara Hawthorne, Mary Lou Nye, Mary Jo Nye, and Dorothy Brown. And Abigail Kopp survived right here. Well, some time went by after this tragedy, and the Cracker Barrel closed because of those salmonella issues. And the rest I went over with at the beginning of this video. Dalton pulled right out of this parking lot in his Uber. He was an Uber driver, and went downtown into Kalamazoo to continue plying his trade that night of murder and butchery of the innocent. And he was caught. I did a video on his arrest site in an earlier a video, I should say. Please take a look at that. Before he came out here, he started on the east side of Kalamazoo near Richland at an apartment complex, pulling up on a young mother and her child, other children, and opening fire on her. And she took several bullets, shielding her child and the other children. The kids were not physically wounded at all. The woman almost died. She's a hero protecting those kids. Dalton made a couple stops between there and an automotive dealer right over here about 3.5 miles away, which he pulled in there, seen a father and son, a young fella and his father, looking at a vehicle, and he pulled up and got out, went over and shot them both dead. The boy's fiance, the young man's fiance, was in the car that they came there in, and she witnessed it, and she hunkered down. Dalton didn't see her in court. He said that if he had, he would have shot her too. And Dalton took off and came out here to the Cracker Barrel, and then on downtown where he was arrested. Thank God. He had more ammunition and he was still going to pick people up. The city of Kalamazoo was on lockdown, and people were calling Ubers and so forth to take them home from bars because they didn't want anybody on the streets, and he was running around down there ready to pick more victims up. But the police got right on him. They had good intelligence on what kind of a vehicle that he was driving, and they got him. The young lady, the fiance of the young man that was murdered, she jumped out of the car after Dalton left because she didn't have a cell phone. Her fiance did, and she walked up to her fiance's body and retrieved the cell phone off of him and called 911. A lot of really good people came right through here. Heroes, you name it. A lot of very, very good people, and I'm sure there was a few bad people too. But I'll tell you, to anyone's knowledge, Jason Dalton, probably the worst. And I'd say so because a mass murder happened right there. And a wounding of a beautiful young lady. Thank God she's still with us. Again, sun's rising here. This property's for sale. I looked last night and it has recently been taken off the list. I don't know if it was sold or not, but they're asking about $950,000, a 3-acre plot of land and so forth. But there it is. I'm no realtor, but I do know what happened here, and I did work here, and what a great place. What a nice place to work. Very, very nice place to work. And yeah, just terrible. All right. Also right over here behind me, not a half a mile away, is a murder site. Also that I went over in a prior video. And myself personally, I could walk here from where I lived. I lived right back here, just about 400 meters. And right down my own street, over a 19-year period, I found 4 people dead. Myself, right there. and different times for natural causes and so forth. But it's just kind of weird. You have quite a bit of death right there. You have a murder right over here a little ways. You have a mass murder right here. You know, I always think about things like that. You know, God rest their souls. I'll talk to you in the next one. Thanks for watching.